Wednesday morning in the free household. Currently outside getting my morning sunshine, grounding and letting Shadow burn his energy after a full night's sleep. Got a busy day today. Got some things to get done on the car, just some conversations to be had, going to go to the gym and the sauna. Yeah, good, productive, busy day ahead of us. And I'm gonna take you with me, see what it's like to live a day in Serbia, going to get things sorted on our UK car. Look at that sunshine. Beautiful. So yeah, let's go. Let's go and have our day today. Starting with this nutter's breakfast. Currently on my way to the gym. I have been a little bit under the weather recently. I'm not going to say I'm well because I've still been functioning and doing everything that I need to do, but my energy levels have definitely been lower, and I've been, you can probably still hear it now, quite congested, sinusy, a lot of mucus, which is quite unlike me. I used to suffer with this a lot. This used to be a very regular occurrence in my life, and probably for the last 4 or 5 years or so, since I've definitely been living cleaner, more holistically, I haven't had any experiences like this. And the weekend before last, we went out for a sort of brunch. It was at this place that did like pancakes and stuff like that, so I definitely had a little bit more sugar than what I would usually have. Tried to keep it as basic as I could, but yeah, it's somewhere that was spoken about quite a lot here, so it was somewhere that I wanted to try. And then after that we went to this lovely like bar area. It's called The View, which was really nice. They didn't have that many drinks, and yeah, Charlie was like, have a little drink, and I was like, I don't really drink any alcohol, and he got some cocktails for us, thinking that they were, you know, we were gonna have some nice cocktails, and they were ones that just came in a bottle, and they were very coloured. I did not even look at the ingredients label because I just knew what was in them. And after that weekend, both of us have been a little bit run down. It took mine a little bit longer to come out with it, but he was a little bit run down first, and then I've had it since. So yeah, may have just been a coincidence, but yeah, definitely for me, like, looking after my body is so important, because it just reminds you when you're sniffly and you're chesty, and especially for me, for us, like recording, I work online, so I'm on Zoom calls and things like that, and the last thing you want to be doing is not having a voice, is coughing and things like that. So it is a really big reminder of how important your health is, and that definitely for me is one of the hardest things with traveling. We do very well in the sense of we carry around, so we have a Kangen machine, which is a water ionizer. You would have seen me speak about this if you've watched our previous videos, and it's great. We carry around that. It also comes with a filter. I literally have my own suitcase for it. That's how committed we are. When one of my friends recently has gone traveling, and they've gone by plane, so it's a little bit different, but there's like a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 kids, and they've just got a few bags, that's it. And I'm like, wow, you should see how much stuff we travel with. We really do travel with a lot of stuff. So water's a really big thing. Obviously our bodies are made up of over 70% water, so we need to make sure we're staying hydrated with the cleanest source of water. And when we were in Montenegro, before we came here, the property that we stayed at was, you know, very, like, they were on their way to being off-grid. They had like water filtration systems, and the difference in my skin and my hair was like amazing. I never really noticed it before, but then going there, it was like, wow, this feels like incredible. They actually had like a reverse osmosis machine throughout the whole of their land, and reverse osmosis has like its pros and cons, but for it to be in the shower, we really noticed a difference. And as soon as we came here to Serbia, there is a lot of talk about what's happening. Like, I've seen things on Facebook about what's in the water and stuff like that. So, you know, it comes with its pros and its cons, and I've noticed it in my skin, and just everything. So, I mean, if you're drinking tap water right now, do a little bit of research into what is actually in the tap water, because that is something you do not want to be putting into your body. So yeah, we carry around our water machine. We do carry around a lot of supplements, things like clothing as well. Like, I'm very hot, I won't buy polyester clothing, polymade, what's another one at the minute, nylon. There's all these clothes, and again, our skin is the largest organ on our body, and so anything that we're putting onto our skin is going into our system. It's going through the skin into the bloodstream, and our body is absorbing that. And so when we're wearing clothes, especially when we're going to the gym, like, it was so hard for me to find this t-shirt, and it's cotton. I found it, it's cotton, but I see all these women in the gym that just look like they're in these like sexy clothes, I guess, and whenever I see them, like, I'll see them in the shop, I'm like, oh, that's what that girl was wearing, that's what that woman was wearing, and it's just such bad material. And it's like, I won't put myself in a position where I'm wearing those materials, and it's difficult. Again, traveling in the UK, there's now a lot of websites, same as in America, for example. In these like more westernized countries, there are a lot of places, and you have a lot more accessibility to clothing. Here, I'm finding it very, very difficult. We met people recently, and they said that, like, they felt like Serbia was like 10 years or so behind the times, and you definitely notice it, like, with the music. They're playing a lot of music that 10 years ago we would have been listening to it, and you hear it everywhere. So I definitely agree with that. But yeah, that's definitely one of the like challenging things with traveling, and how it does affect your health. You know, if you're going to the gym and you're sweating and your pores are opening, and you're wearing polyester and you're wearing nylon and you're wearing all these materials, those chemicals are soaking straight into your skin so quickly. So that's also another part how I like really support our health, is the materials that we wear. And we drink a lot of like apple cider vinegar, we have raw honey. I don't really have too much gluten or dairy. Drink raw dairy, so raw milk. Not really much of a cheese eater. So dairy and gluten are both very inflammatory, as is alcohol. Like I already mentioned, I don't drink alcohol. I think, yeah, I've had 2 little drinks since being here, but I just don't enjoy it. I haven't found my drink yet. And I do know that, I'm pretty certain actually, that this stems from more trauma from things I witnessed growing up with people on alcohol around me, and it just made me be like, yeah, I'm not going to be putting that into my body. I don't want to act like that. And I do just have a lot of experiences where people are different when they drink. Even Charlie, he's different when they drink. Of course, it affects your body. Like, it's just what alcohol is, not good or bad. But for me, it's just not a thing. So on the whole, I would say that I do live pretty clean to support my health. We obviously go to the gym. Sauna, that's a massive thing. When we were in the UK, we had a sauna, an infrared sauna in our apartment. And you have like the infrared saunas, or you have the traditional like Finnish saunas. And most gyms we go into have the traditional Finnish saunas, which are great. They get much hotter. They allow you to sweat much quicker, much more. The good things with the infrared sauna is it doesn't go as hot, but it penetrates deeper into the cells. So infrared sauna is really good for like getting deep into like any inflammation. People are showing things like autoimmune conditions, cancers and stuff like that. That will get really, really deep into the body. So infrared saunas are much better like that. So yeah, we definitely do look after our health well. I definitely do have a sweet tooth. That's probably my biggest little thing, is like I love something sweet. But I try my best to find, like, we'll find some good sorbet and things like that, so that I can still have that little sweet tooth. I love fruit, so I get through a lot of fruit without needing to fill bodies with toxins and chemicals. So that's what we do. Also making sure that I'm grounding every day, getting my feet on the earth, and allowing the healing energy of Mother Nature to run through my body. So yeah, I would say that being on the road definitely comes with its challenges to living a life that we really know it is most beneficial for us. And that was the thing, when we were in the UK, we didn't do very much. And just look in the car, because there's, at these traffic lights, you tend to get people like begging and asking for whatever they're asking for. And you can see here, and they just come up to the cars. And yeah, obviously being on my own, I always just like to make sure that I'm safe and I keep myself protected. And they're just standing at my window right now, so I just ignore it. They've gone now. So yeah, when we were in the UK, we didn't do very much. So we were very systemized. You know, we bought a chest freezer, so we had an extra freezer. We always had like really good stock of very high quality foods, and because it's your home, you're able to decide like what material is the sofa, what material is the bed. We had like air purifier. There was just so much that we did to really like support our lifestyle. And when you're on the road, you can't do the same. Like, I'd love to carry around an air purifier right now, because a lot of these properties we go into, you can feel it. You can feel that they like are not as clean, the air, as what they could be. And that is just what it is. That's just part of the travelling. But that's definitely one of the reasons, and I think us both getting a little bit under the weather as well has definitely been a reminder of like, okay, like, traveling's amazing, and we're definitely not going to stop travelling, but to have a base outside of the UK is really important. Because, you know, if we had a base in one of these European countries that we could just drive to and from, we can have our stock there, we know what we've got there, we can be based there, and then if we want to go and drive and travel, we still can, or fly and travel, we still can. But obviously right now, not having that base, it just means that we've just got a car. Our car does get full to the brim. We are actually most likely going to buy a roof box before we leave here. We found some just locally. Charlie went in the other day and spoke to them. So yeah, most likely going to get a roof box. We see a lot of people travelling with roof boxes, and we've just never done it, but just to give us a little bit more space and the ability to be able to yeah, just have more space in the car, because right now we literally fill the back seat, where everything is full up. And it means if we ever stop, or we want a little bit more space, or one of us maybe wants to go and sit in the back, we can't really do that. But yes, I found a lovely little space. I'm in. Very rarely do we get spaces here. This is like right opposite the gym. I'll show you in a moment. But yeah, very rarely do we get spaces here, and I've got one, so I'm very, very happy about that. Can't go forward anymore. So yeah, that is my little morning speech about health. It's definitely going to be a very hot one today. I mean, it's 9 AM right now. It's hitting just over 30 degrees. Gym is over there, so I'm going to get myself together, go and have a good workout. Today my goal is to, yeah, hit a bit harder because I have been keeping it low, my weights, and have been focusing more on cardio and sauna just to really sweat it out. So today I want to see if I can add a little bit more weights on, maybe do a good little leg session and see what I can achieve. Okay, so walking into the gym. The gym is actually just across the road. You should be able to see it just there. Got Synergy. You can see it just there, and then it's all up there. It's like on the first floor basically. So I will just walk over across the road. The roads are very busy here, so it's yeah, keep it safe, walk to the traffic lights. But yeah, gonna go and hit some legs today. I've been giving myself a target. That woman wanted to literally touch me as she walked past. Been giving myself a target to hit 200 kilograms on the leg press, and I've managed 145 so far for, I think it was 3 or 4 reps. So I want to try and hit 200 before we leave here. We leave here 4 weeks today, so we've got a little bit of time. Don't know where we're going yet next, because we haven't yet been able to find a property that feels in alignment. So I've got a couple of ideas and a couple of thoughts as to why that might be. But yeah, something different that usually isn't an experience for us. Usually we are, yeah, very prepared with our bookings and where we're going next. So yeah, we just have all these little shops. Got a nice restaurant down here, it's called like Madame. We went there when we first came, had some steak, lots of banks. Always see lots of banks around here, and you can see the sign just up there for Synergy Training Centre. So that is where I am going right now, in here. Let's go. Okay, so gym done, car has been dropped off here. It's getting its tyres redone, so super helpful place here. They speak really good English, and yeah, they've been super helpful, so highly recommend it. I'm getting 4 new tyres, premium ones, like we currently have on, all brand new, and it works out probably around £200 cheaper than it would in the UK. So yeah, getting all them done now. Done the gym, hit my personal best and did 150 kilograms on the leg press, so really happy with that. Definitely working towards my goal of 200. I definitely could feel how I hadn't done it in a couple of weeks. So yeah, now I am just going for a little walk. I've got about an hour to kill, so I'm going to walk down. There's a pet shop down here. There's also like a fresh fruit and veg store, and lots of little coffee shops. So I think I'm going to go and sit myself down in a coffee shop. I don't drink coffee, but they usually all do fresh juices, so I'll probably get myself a nice little fresh juice. Got my laptop with me, so yeah, sit down, connect to the Wi-Fi, get some work done. Our Wi-Fi in the Airbnb has been a little bit slow, so for like general Zoom calls and YouTube watching and stuff like that has been okay, but for me doing like these video editing, and I don't do anything major, I just maybe edit out a couple of little bits and put together a few of the shorter videos into long form. I've really noticed the difference. I mean, if I've got like an hour long video and I need to download it or upload it, it takes ages. And yeah, when we came here we were told that the internet speed was 400, and it's definitely not. It's, yeah, probably sitting at about, we've tested it in different places. It's in the garage area, which has got loads of cobwebs, so I won't sit there, but if you plug it in, it's about 90, and then the rest of the area, it ranges between like 30 up to about 60. So yeah, super slow, not ideal for video editing. And that's something that I always make sure when I'm booking an Airbnb is I find out the speed. Like everyone says, yeah, it's fast. It's like, no, what is the speed? So yeah, that is that's that. And yeah, very nice and warm day, feeling good, feeling productive. So happy to be getting the tyres done, because when you are in another country, and obviously I've got a UK car, and like I don't speak the language, it can be a little bit difficult. Last time we were in Serbia last year, we got a service done, and I do want to get a service done again, but I'm struggling to find one around here. So tempted to go back to where we went to last time, but it's about an hour drive. It was in Belgrade, which is fine. We went to Belgrade recently, but it's then like you've got to hang around for the day for it to get done. So yeah, just deciding if it's worth making that trip to go and get it done, or if we can find someone around here, because again, it's so much cheaper when you get it done out in these countries. They use the same products, they've got all the same like Bosch products and everything like that. You know, the tyres, we're getting exactly the same brand put on, so it just works out cheaper. So that's me, gonna go and flow into some work now. Probably pop into the pet shop and see, oh, there's one pet shop there. I'm not going into that one. There's another one just down here. Shadow's raw fed, and usually in the UK he would literally have like rabbit ears with fur, because it's really good for them, and some other bones, and it's really hard to find them here. A lot of the dog treats here are like, they have some additives in them, they're not completely raw. Found a couple but not many, so definitely do see that as a little bit of a challenge, and I have noticed it in his digestion, in what his like poos are like and things like that. And you know, being a dog mum and all that, you do check out their poos and you make sure that everything's okay, because it's part of the job. So yeah, again, just being really raw and honest of the pros and the cons with traveling, because you know, the life that I'm living now is a life that a year, or not a year because we had already started, but 2 years ago I would have like dreamt of. I would have been like, that's my dream, yes please. And now I'm actually doing it, and it's amazing. I'm so grateful. Like walking around now, it's 40 degrees, beautiful blue skies, the sun is shining, I have the freedom of this country, getting my car sorted. Can't really complain, can I? But yeah, then just the rawness of what challenges do come with it, because you do have to adapt. It's not just easy of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go there and life just continues. Maybe for some people who only live in certain ways it may be like that, but when we live in a very certain way, then it does come with its challenges. So this is the pet shop that I'm going to go into and see. Premium Pet it's called. They did have one in Belgrade when we were there last year and they were quite good, so I'm going to go in and see if they do have anything good for my boy, any good bones or not. So now sitting in beautiful little Cafe Malino. It is, yeah, gorgeous. It has got a little outside seating area there as well, but I wanted to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi, so come inside. Got myself a little smoothie. I think it's banana, mint, apple, pineapple and carrot, I think. So yeah, got my headphones. I'm going to plug myself in, do a little bit of video editing. I've got probably about 45 minutes left now. I yeah, managed to get inside the pet shop and found one treat for Shadow that was completely natural with no additives, so one is better than none. But yeah, this is a really nice little place. I haven't been in here before. I think Charlie has, but it's huge. There's like loads of seating over that way and outside, and I love that I've just got all this space to myself. No one is here. I can just put my headphones in and just really zone in on what I need to do. I do have a tendency to get distracted when I'm out, and I'm always like looking at what else is going on. So yeah, I'm really feeling, I've got my smoothie, got She's connected me to the internet, got my headphones, I'm going to pop them in, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and get a good solid 45 minutes of flow, some video editing. I've got to set myself a couple of little targets that I want to get completed before I leave here. So setting myself these little goals really helps me to stay focused, stay clear on what I'm doing, and actually get things done. Because I was actually having a chat with Charlie about it last night, but I definitely have a tendency to not complete things. It's almost like I'm got a bit of ADHD or something like that, but over the last few years there definitely is something that no matter how many systems or structures I put in place, I still find myself regularly not being able to fully finish a task. I get so pulled into other directions. I get my mind, even if it's just presence with Charlie and I. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm focused and working on, because I know how much more I can give and provide and show up if I can actually keep myself grounded and focused and complete tasks. I will feel so much better as well. So that's my goal today. Wish me luck. I can do this. I know I can. Are done. The car definitely feels much different. It feels like more balanced now, and yeah, whether that's just a psychological thing or whether it actually does, very worth getting that done. They were really friendly, really efficient, checked like the spare wheel, all things like that, and yeah, definitely worth doing. And when you do have a car, you don't have a choice. You have to do these things. So yeah, something that, you know, every so often, especially if you are putting miles on the clock like we are, you know, since November we were in Serbia, we made our way all the way back to the UK and have now come all the way down in less than a year. In what, 8-9 months? Not sure how many months, but yeah, we've added miles onto the car. So you do have to stay on top of things like the tyres and the servicing and stuff like that. So yeah, an expense that is needed but is very worth it, because this girl is very reliable. She gets us to where we need to be, and very comfortable, very efficient, and yeah, very grateful to have a car like this, that's for sure. But yeah, I was definitely having some reflections whilst I was doing my work in the coffee shop, and then just walking back to pick up the car, and really just thinking, like, it's Wednesday, it's the beginning of July now, we're on I think it's the 2nd of July, and I'm just out here just living my life, just taking each day as it comes. I'm in another country. We're in Serbia, a country that, just to put this into perspective, when we first came travelling, of course we knew about the 90-day Schengen rules, but I didn't know what we were going to do, but I had no intention to come to these Balkan countries. I didn't know what they were like. You hear so much fear-mongering of, I remember when we went to Bosnia, and family for one were really apprehensive of me going to Bosnia. It was there was a war there, and it's there's a war everywhere, look what's happening in the UK. And I speak about the UK a lot because I'm from the UK. I could speak about America and all these other countries, but I'm from the UK, so I like to just speak about where I'm from. But Bosnia was one thing. Like, Bosnia, I felt safe. It wasn't that I didn't feel safe, but the country wasn't necessarily for us. Great experience, but it wasn't necessarily for us. But even just like bringing a dog to these Balkan countries, they speak about all the stray dogs and it's really dangerous, and people just have an idea of what these countries are like. And when we first went traveling, went to Germany and then we went and spent a month in Croatia, and I didn't know where we were going to go next, and we knew that we would have to start to look outside of the Schengen zone eventually, because we didn't want to go back to the UK and we wanted to keep travelling. And obviously now places like Bulgaria, Romania, they've gone into the Schengen zone. Even Croatia, that I think it was 2023 or 2024, the Croatia only went into the Schengen area then. So a few years ago, the ability to travel, you had so much more freedom if you're not an EU citizen, because you can, there was more countries for you to be able to dive into. I know, I think, from what I've read and what I've seen, that a lot of these other countries are, like Montenegro and stuff like that, will eventually be going into the Schengen zone as well. So who knows, we'll see. I think they just try to control as much of freedom as possible. Like, why can't we just travel the land freely? Like, I understand the need for like rules and laws and stuff like that, but if you're genuinely we're just a family traveling, we're providing to the countries that we're going to, like, we're making great connections, we just want to explore, and having to move about with all these like rules of days you're allowed to stay and not allowed to stay, and some countries, if you want to go further afield and you want to take your dog, and there's things like quarantine and X, Y and Z, and it's just it's frustrating. It is really frustrating, because it's like, just let me live my life. But going back to my reflections that I was going through, and whilst I was in the coffee shop, was that I really didn't know or imagine or think life would be like this being in other countries. And by that, it sounds a funny one, like speaking it, because it's like, well, everyone's got cars, so you still need to go and get your tyres done. People still need to go and get their tyres done. Like, it doesn't matter where your car's from. But it's like, I don't know what my idea was like of what it would be like living in these countries and exploring these countries, but for some reason it just feels like this wasn't what I imagined, even though I don't know what I did imagine. But it's just a real reflection, like all those years that I spent working for other people and doing all these night shifts and having to spend my summer days trying to sleep because I was going back to work to do another night shift. And I'm so grateful for the experiences that I did get, of course, but it's like people stay in those places for their life. People stay in those places of working for other people, not being able to truly live their life. And I think especially like since we lost Aoife and that like heartbreaking experience that happened so out of the blue, like everything up until just before she was born was like perfect, long, hard work, but incredible, liberating, empowering. And it goes the other way and she's not alive when she's born. And it's really a fucking reminder that you literally do not know when your life is going to change. You do not know. And maybe people are happy working for other people and having the same routine every day, and I love routine. Routine's very important to me. But having the freedom to just like explore different cultures, see how people live, see what countries have certain foods, see what families like, see how people celebrate, see like what it's like with like shopping and clothes and stuff like that. Exploring all of that from different countries and seeing what it's like it's just an experience that you never can get from just being in one place. Even if we were like, right, we're going to stay in Serbia now and not move, it's like after a period of time you're just in that place and you're not exploring or expanding yourself to these new environments, these new languages, these new cultures, because everything's changing. Nothing stays the same, it's always changing. And so yeah, just I guess a real sense of gratitude for where I've actually come in my life. And like even when we first came traveling, and I remember we got off the Eurotunnel and I was driving, and obviously it's on the other side of the road, and this was in 2023. We went to Spain first, and I got off the Eurotunnel. I'd never driven on the other side of the road, and we had tiny little old Nissan Micra, really small. Like, don't know how it got us all the way to Spain and then Portugal, but it did. That's another story. And I was so scared driving on the other side of the road, like, oh my gosh, I'm on the other side of the road. And then I went, like, I had to talk to myself every time I got close to a roundabout, like, right, I need to go this way, I need to go this way, make sure I go this way. And then even when we went to, like, where else did we go? A petrol station, and I like went the wrong way up it and things like that. It's like just all these experiences that have happened from traveling, and now obviously I'm pretty confident. Obviously there's some things where it's like if it's really busy or you don't really know where you're going and you're driving on the other side of the road, it can be a little bit challenging. And obviously if you have to go through somewhere that's got like a ticket barrier, because our steering wheel's on the other side, if you're on your own, like now, I would have to lean over the car and get it. So there definitely are some challenges, but the growth that it's brought in me and just the confidence, because I was so like stuck and safe in my little space and knowing where I am, and it does just show why so many people can do it for their whole life, and they stay where they were born, or at least in the local proximity and around the same people, and do it. Like, you speak to some people and they're like, yeah, I've been in the same job like 40 years, and it's like 40 years. Like, you have, I was gonna say you have one life, but you can go into many different things, but you're in this physical body, me as Amy, for this one experience. And I can choose to stay in my safe haven of what I know and what I feel I have to do for security and protection and you know, what other people say and things like that, or I can do what I'm doing now. And yes, you bet your arse it comes with challenges, but I can tell you now, what comes on the other side is like so rewarding. And I will be heading back to the UK for a short while for my yearly trip to get the car MOT done and see friends and family, and I'm so looking forward to it, because there's so many parts of me that is hesitant, because I know what it was like when I went last year, and the energy was very heavy and stuff like that. I am purposefully going at a different time of year. So last year I went at the end of November, I think it was in November sometime, whereas this year I'm going back, not sure when, but it's going to be summertime, August, September, that sort of time. So I'm purposefully doing that because the weather's different, the energy's different, longer days and stuff like that. So there is that little apprehension because of like what I experienced last time, but at the same time it always gives me that energy that I need to know, like a reminder of this is the absolute right thing that we're doing traveling, and not being just based in the UK. If I wanted to, I could go and get on a flight today and go back to the UK and see family. It's so easy to travel the world nowadays. Granted, everything that's been happening in the air, I'm definitely not the biggest fan of flying at the moment. I don't have any main intentions to fly just yet. That's why I love to be in a car. It might take longer, but of course Shadow's with us then as well. But yeah, it's just, I am looking forward to it, because yeah, the reflections that always come from going back and seeing, like, not only physically seeing people, but also being able to see places. Like, one thing for me is always like buildings. Like, even when we went to visit Belgrade, since we've been here, and obviously it's only been like, what, 5 months since we were last like in Serbia. It's like you see the different buildings, you see the different shops, you see the things that have changed. And I love that about the UK, like being able to just go there and yeah, just have a little bit of what it offers, because the UK is an amazing place. The UK is like, it has so much to offer. Like, there are so many, just so much that can be received from the UK, but just the corruption and the way it is obviously changes all of that. But I'm excited to just pop back, get that reminder of like, oh yeah, this is why we're doing it. Being able to get all the love and connections with my family and friends, stock up on everything I want, and then hit the road again and see where the next part of the journey is going to take us. So yeah, back to the villa now. I'm going to go in, see Charlie and Shadow, have a drink, and have a little bit of relaxation time.
And I love the thought of coming home to you.